Hey, good people, good evening from Dhaka, Bangladesh. This is going to be a very special episode. As you can see, there's going to be, as you can see, as you can see, there's going to be three vintage fragrances, like not very brand new fragrances. And I do miss doing vintage fragrances because I haven't bought that many in the recent times, but I did quite a few fragrances like in recent times. But today, why this is special for a few reasons. First of all, these fragrances are, at least two of them are very hard to find, and they are from back in the time. One is from 70s era, one from 90s era, and one is in 2000 exactly. So I'm going to do all three in one episode. This is why it's going to be special. These are going to be back in the time goodness. People who lived in those era, they're going to relate to this episode a lot. If you're into vintage fragrances, definitely check it out. And mostly these are going to be in the green side of things. Okay, they're all kind of green, but they have the differences. Second reason why this is special is these fragrances were gifted to me. Like, these are very, like, little bit juice left in each bottle, because these bottles are, it's not something I bought. It was gifted to me for reviewing purpose and testing. So my dear brother and friend, brother Shafi Bhai, Shaikat Bhai also, his name. He is one of my best friends in Bangladesh, in the fragrance community since I got here. He's has been one of my best friends until now. We talk. I think it's crazy that how much we can talk. Late night we call. We just call for like 30 minutes or so. We don't know, before you know, it's like 4 hours. It's like bromance going on, definite bromance going on. So we have a lot of, I'm sorry to say this. I feel like talking a little bit about this episode. We talk about politics, we talk about food, we talk about sports, everything, fragrances. And he's a fragrance reviewer. He has a channel where he does unboxing and opening of discontinued fragrance. So these fragrances all belong to his uncle, Mama. Mama means uncle from mother's side. And he used to use this back in the time, and these are all vintage. He bought these back in the time. So I didn't even bother to check. I know from the bottles how old they are. So these reviews, thanks to Shafi Bhai and uncle. So I am privileged to finally do this. I have been having this for a year. So let's try. So first fragrance we're going to be looking at today, let's go from oldest to newer one. First fragrance we're going to be looking at today, I actually reviewed this fragrance, modern version, that is 2015 version, I believe, is Paco Rabanne. This is where Paco Rabanne used to do fragrances differently. Nowadays, whatever you are seeing, it's green. I mean, sorry, it's more playful, sweet, clubbing. Paco Rabanne, Invictus, 1 million era, those fragrances are going on. This is an entire different era. This is green, this is mossy, this is piney. I'll put down the review link of this one. I did it, one of the first reviews that I did from Malaysia, outdoors. Okay, so this, I have good memories. This is one of my signature scents. It's barbershoppy, green, strong, vanilla, lot of goodness. So this and vintage are different, not the same thing. This, even though this is very good, even current formulation, this is beast mode. Let's see what you have. Interestingly enough, I don't have the old bottle. I have this one. This is actually the pocket sprayer, or a kind of carryable, like a portable kind of a bottle. This is 50 ml. Here it's written in the back. You don't see these kind of pocket perfumes anymore. So I guess he bought it like this, or bought it as a gift set or something. So here you spray. I think there's about from the 50 ml, I think it's good 10 ml or less left. Okay, so I have it on the paper. And this fragrance, let me tell you one thing. Vintage actually does mean vintage. If I didn't smell this fragrance, I wouldn't know the beauty of it, like, properly. I do love Paco Rabanne. This one, without any question, I love this a lot because it's very masculine, suits my age. I'm almost 40, I'm 38. This is perfect fragrance for a masculine man. Like, I'm calling myself a masculine man, but I love everything. But I mean, in terms of perfume. But but what I'm trying to say, this fragrance is for people who love fragrances like my vintage, semi-vintage Azaro Purom. Then if you like fragrances like Drakkar Noir, if you like fragrances like Kurom by Antonio Puig, and also my recent favorite is Bowling Green, which I said it's better than Green Irish Tweed in my opinion. So these fragrances all have something in common. They have like a kind of like sorry, who's ringing the bell twice? So these are kind of fragrances that are green, barbershop, nature, outdoorsy, kind of winter heavy fragrances. So what's the difference between the vintage and the current formulation? Upon initial spray, this is so much magical, so much natural. The pine smell, you get it. You get actually the nature at its best. It really smells like you're outdoors in the pine, like near the pine trees, and it's kind of cold weather, and you're smelling the freshness, and its greenness. It's just absolute greatness. is just so good. It's like it's so much more natural than the current formulation opening. Dry down, it's not as loud as the original. I mean, the current formulation, it stays more, how to say, the way you like it to be. It's long lasting, but at the same time, it's not gonna be overpowering you. The current formulation, the new bottles, very strong. You spray once, it can get very synthetic upon initial spray. It's very very strong. The opening of the green, it's very very strong. But Paco Rabanne, the this one, the dry down, it's really the best. I would say this fragrance best feature is the dry down of the vanilla. It's really gorgeous, really outdoorsy, but really really uh, I mean pleasant. You know, if you're up there in the mountains and among the clouds, it feels really really good. I have good memories of this fragrance. So the dry down, this is gonna go also similar sort of dry down, but it's the whole experience is a lot more enjoyable. I enjoy this opening and the dry down both. So that is the greatness of the vintage. So definitely try out Paco Rabanne Purom, the vintage, if you can find somewhere. You can definitely give it a try. I think the juice used to be yellow colored. So yeah, definitely give it a try. So definitely 1978. This is going for home run. This is a beautiful fragrance. I am going to cherish this. Whatever sprays remain in this, I will use it for special occasion. Time for the second review. Now I think this is one of the great times of Davidoff. This is a fragrance from Davidoff. Davidoff, they make excellent coffee, chocolates, and perfumes. Okay, this is called Good Life. It's written somewhere here. Here it says Good Life, and this is a very iconic bottle. These bottles go for very high price tag nowadays because it's very hard to find. Discontinued, and I believe this is from 1998. Let me check, double check. Good Life was released in 1998, the exact year I left Bangladesh for Malaysia. So as you can see, the juice is a little bit left, and it's kind of greenish. I think the juice matured to be in this color, but it's to be more lighter green, yellow. So this fragrance, I would classify this as a green fragrance once again. But first thing that I sniffed from this fragrance gave me fig. And if you're a fan of fig, if you like Dior's Dune, if you like Fico di Amalfi, if you like fig-based thick, sweet, fruity like blackcurrant, cassis, some citrus, some melon. I think there's some mint or tea leaves, not mint, sorry. There's a cassis that is something like blackcurrant, but more strong in taste, as well as the tea note. If you like those, this is a fragrance you're gonna really, really love. Look at the touch of Davidoff. Look at the vintage font. This is how they used to put cool water on their older bottles. Now the font has changed. Bottom is like this. This fragrance is so, my good lord, it's so strong. It's very refreshing at the same time. That fig, it's definitely like if you tried Noble Fig by Ferrari, they have attempted some fig based perfumes. I have another fig based perfume from Calvin Klein. I forgot the name. It reminds me a little bit of a Kuros Silver. So this fragrance definitely has vibes of very modern fragrances as well. So I believe the strength of this fragrance is very very good as well. Davidoff usually they do not last, but back in the time, this fragrances used to last. Very sweet. It's not brand new. If you smell it today, you'll feel like, yeah, it smells a little bit like fragrance I have smelled in recent times. Even sometimes smells like CKB, but very nice. It gives you almost sort of like a coconutty feel because of the tonka. I think it has huge tonka of sandalwood. I'm looking at the notes break. I'm trying to see what it is that I'm missing. So they say melon, tea, and the cassis leaves. Those like are the major player, but I'm definitely getting the fig leaves. You know, somewhere there. I think it's fig leaves or tea. Don't think it's tea. Yeah, there is a tea note there. But definitely this fragrance you should definitely try it out because I feel, oh man, this is very 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 beautiful perfume. Okay, let me double check if there is any fig leaves in this. Tea, fig leaves, yes, definite fig leaves and black currant. Yes, black currant. So this fragrance is if you like sweet sandalwood, definitely got sandalwood now. I can say it now. The sweetness coming from sandalwood. So it's a very creamy, posh, thick kind of a perfume and has that greenness of the fig leaves. The fragrance, the atomizer would come off right now. This part would come off. That's why I didn't put it all the way because they have some age to them now. So if you definitely worth the hunting down a vintage of this amazing creation from Davidoff. Davidoff, Good Life. I think this fragrance will be great for schoolgoers starting your fragrance journey. I think back in the time that's what people used to wear this for. Very masculine as well. Ideal time to wear it would be probably fall. That would be a great time. A little bit cool weather, it will last much longer. Very simple yet enjoyable scent for every day. Davidoff, Good Life. And that brings me to the last one. I have not sprayed this fragrance on paper. I sprayed it on my hand because I love this fragrance so much. It is one of the most refreshing green fragrances I have tried till today. This is from the house of Paul Smith, and this is called Paul Smith Man. Okay, so this fragrance, I'm pretty sure you can find this because I actually googled it to see if it's available in the market. I saw 100 ml is going for about roughly $42 at Paul Smith website. That is very good bargain. I mean, this is a 30 ml bottle, I believe. Let me check. This is a 50 ml bottle. So they have 30, 50 and 100 ml bottles of this. Very beautiful green bottles. This has actually a lot of juice left I can use. So I believe the juice color itself could be, I don't know, I think it's the bottle that's giving the juice color to be little green, but it's the bottle that's green. So Paul Smith is a fragrance house that used to be really big in 90s, and this is actually release of 2000s, exact 2000, year 2000. So this fragrance was created by Natalie Larson, or no, this is not created by Natalie Larson. Wait, let me check. The same perfumer who made Bentley for Man Intense. Let me check. Probably her. Yes, one of the perfumer is Natalie Larson. So she did create Bentley for Man Intense and some big fragrances today. One of the best noses ever. So this fragrance, I cannot tell you, this is how refreshing this is. All of them are so beautiful. This is major player is in this is violet leaves. Citrus, a lot of citrus. It's very light, airy, citrusy, and has decent lasting power. Very casual kind of fragrance, but I would say something in line with Xenia, Vumo, Fahrenheit, kind of Fahrenheit, not really Fahrenheit because the violet leaves kind of reminds you of it, but it goes in a different direction. It has more grassy feel. It has a vetiver. It has a kind of, what else does it have? Mint. Very refreshing, cooling kind of fragrance. If you see this today, if you're looking for a fragrance that you like, green fragrances, and if you like fragrances that would be good for summer, like high heat situation, office friendly, gym, you should definitely look at Paul Smith Men. This is very, very modern still. Let me spray this once again. And this part of atomizer actually came off with the cap. I took it out and I put it back, but these things are old now. So yeah, difficult. So let me spray this once again just to give you opening. Let's just spray once. I'm very stingy about this vintages. So this fragrance, definitely give it a little bit time because there could be some alcohol up top after all these years. Yeah. Oh man, oh man, this is so good. This is mint heaven in the upon initial spray. It's kind of like a mojito. The crunchy mint, the fresh mint, they just imagine some green mint leaves and you just took them and like spank them for a while, and then the natural more aromatic properties of mint just coming out, give it that nice sort of kick in the drinks that you're making, refreshing mojito. Even if you use for any other sangria, whatever, they use some mint, definitely this is going to give that freshness of mint. Very zesty, very bright, kind of reminds me of Cartier Roadster, that mint, and this is very identical. But there has some peppery kick in this as well. I'm not sure what is the peppery kick. I think it's violet leaves mostly, and then there's a lavender. Oh, ginger, told you there is going to be some peppery properties in it. So this has that ginger. Back in the time, man, like fragrances never used to be boring. Lots of notes. Fragrance will smell just darn good. Polo, I have reviewed Polo, Sport. Fragrance used to be different, So since I am from 80s, 90s, and 2000s, all these years, I was fortunate enough to see best of both worlds. Modern fragrances, fragrance in the past. So these fragrances, I cannot even evaluate them like out of 10. I just do not have that, not credibility, but authority. These fragrances are masterpieces on their own. So whatever is your taste, like this kind of fragrances, Paco Rabanne or Davidoff Good Life or Paul Smith Men. If you get to try any of these fragrances, just I'm reviewing. At least 5 people tried, or if you tried it in your fragrance journey, and I actually was able to talk about them in modern days, I feel privileged. This is the goal of fragrance journey. Thank you very much for watching. Thanks Shafi Bhai once again for this wonderful gifts. It's like, your heart feels satisfied when you get to experience some vintage fragrances. So if you like green fragrances, check them out. Try to get a sample. Maybe you like them. I love them all, especially the Paul Smith, the Men, beautiful, fantastic mint, and the violet leaves, amazing fragrance. Everybody take care. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being patient. Tonight I will do some more reviews. See you soon. Bye bye.